Hi everyone.
Hi.
So today we are going to share with you our favorite eye brushes for detailed eye work because we don't have very much eyelid space and
I have very sensitive eyes as well.
Yeah.
They water very easily.
And I think a good set of eye brushes is pretty good to have in your collection. I feel like it really does help you get a good application with your eyeshadow. I mean, for years I was using my fingers for eyeshadow application, and I think that's why for ages I just never wore eyeshadow because I thought I wasn't very good at eyeshadow.
It's the same with me and my naked palette.
Yeah, Bel used the brush from the naked
palette
for years, but I mean there's nothing wrong with that.
And also if your eyes get irritated very easily or if they water very easily, it's good to invest in some really soft brushes.
So we're going to share with you our top 10, and I actually do have an honorable mention because I wanted to include it.
The first brush I want to talk about is this really tiny brush, which is a Goss 08. The bristles are really short and it's kind of like a very flat square shape. And I like this for pushing liner really close to my lash line.
Yeah.
But my lower lash line.
Oh, okay.
I have a different brush for pushing eyeliner and powder into my upper lash line.
Why?
Because my upper lash line has more longer hairs and I'm kind of trying to blend my liquid liner into my lash line.
I also included a Goss brush since we're talking about Goss. This is the number 19 brush from the eye set. If you watch any of my tutorials, you'll see me use this brush a lot. In fact, I use all the Goss brushes a lot, but I do particularly like this shape because I like that it is very tapered and it's got a good amount of density to it because you can use it for packing in eyeshadow as well as blending it out. And I use this often for packing on eyeshadow on my outer V and then diffusing it. I don't know what more to say about it. It's a great brush that I use all the time.
He definitely includes a lot of blending brushes, which is, or like mini brushes for like multi eyeshadow eye looks, which isn't really popular in Asia.
I find that nowadays I don't even need sometimes a shader brush. I can go in with a blending brush for adding eyeshadow on as well as blending. So it kind of erases the need to have both brushes.
The next brush I want to talk about is the Anastasia number 15 brow brush. But I like to use this one for carving out really fine eyeliner or graphic liner looks. Out of all the angled brushes that I own, this one comes to the sharpest point. It's not too like sharp or harsh. The shape is really clean.
The next one I have, actually I looked at all these brushes and they're all Japanese brushes. But they just make some of the best brushes. I have this one by Chikuhodo, and this is the T8 brush. I use this brush in a lot of tutorials. This kind of mimics the Goss one in the sense that it has that tapered edge, and I often use this for outer V blending as well as packing on, but this one is a little bit more precise, and so this one is really good for smoking out lower lash line as well as outer V work. It's honestly a really great brush for that. If you've got a small eyelid space as well, this one will give really precise application because again, working with small eyelid space, you need to find brushes that I guess match the shape of your eye and the space of your eyelid.
So the next one I want to show is another Goss brush, and this is the number 5 brush. And I got this in my Beautylish Lucky Bag 2016.
Oh wow.
It's a while ago. And this is just for me the softest smudger brush that I've owned, but it's good because it's soft but it's not floppy. And again, if you've got really sensitive eyes and you want to smudge eyeshadow under your lower lash line, this one's really good. My eyes don't water when I use this one.
I also included a smudger brush. This is the Hakuhodo one. I can't remember the number of this brush because, you know, Hakuhodo, they don't like to put the names of the brushes on their ferrules, which is annoying. And it's probably the tiniest smudger brush I own. I don't really like to add really harsh liner to my lower lash line. This is really good just to diffuse it. I just wish that Hakuhodo was easier and more accessible because I got this in Japan and they do come to eye mats, but other than that, you have to order it online from the USA site, which is a hassle. So I wish Hakuhodo brushes were available in Australia because they make such good brushes.
Or at least being sold by a place like Beautylish. This is also a Japanese brush and it's from the brand Koyudo. And they also don't print the names of their brushes on their handles. And to me, this is one of the most unique brushes I own. I've never found any shape that's similar to this that is also as stiff as this and also as soft to the tip. So I like this to place dark shadow into my outer V. And again, it's just incredibly soft. For me, every single brush that I require to use perpendicular to my eye, I need to invest in a really soft brush because otherwise it's too irritating. But this is amazing because the bristles are so long, but you can get a lot of control out of it.
And Koyudo brushes, again, are so hard to get your hands on.
Yeah, I got this from CD Japan.
They make great brushes though.
I know Sweet Makeup Temptations reviews a lot of Koyudo brushes.
Yeah,
so.
she's got a great blog. She's got like a collection of over 2,000 brushes, and she just released a collection on Beautylish, which I'm very interested in once they sell individuals, because these days I don't really like to buy sets. I like to buy a specific brush for a specific purpose, because I know in her set she's got like 2 fan brushes, and I wouldn't use those 2 fan brushes.
There's only so many face brushes that you need.
I have also included another Chikuhodo brush. This is from their Passion series, and this brush is quite flat, but it's got that tapered point and it kind of comes up like a triangle. And this one is really fantastic to create a wing shape. When I do my eyeshadow, I tend to like to create like a wing with my eyeshadow because I find that that is the shape that flatters my eyes the most. So I tend to like to bring my eyeshadow kind of like that and then kind of bring it into the crease, which this is great for because it's got a thin edge. So if you want to try a Chikuhodo brush, they tend to have different tiers similar to Hakuhodo, and you can choose.
They've got the Artist series, which I don't think Beautylish carries them, but they're like the general basic range that Chikuhodo does. And then when you go up the series, there's the GSN line, which have the white handles. And then you've got the Z series, which is the black handles that are really, really super soft grey squirrel or something.
So I actually really like that they have different tiers, and you find with a lot of Japanese brushes, they do that so that it kind of caters towards your needs and your budget as well.
And this was the brush that I was talking about earlier. This is by Hakuhodo, and it is a B005 brush. This is probably my favorite out of all of these brushes.
Really?
It's the softest brush for like poking yourself in parts of the eyes that are too close to the eyeball. Like your waterline and like in between your lashes, you can stamp eyeliner and powder into those tight spaces, and it's very soft. If I had to choose one brush out of all these, I'd choose this one.
Okay, and then my last one is this new brush that I recently discovered, and I love it. It's by 3. Again, it's a Japanese brand, and this is the brush I've been using all the time to add eyeshadow to my lower lash line, because I find that usually what I do with eyeshadow is I'll add eyeshadow with a quite stiff brush to my lower lash line, or a soft kind of small brush to my lower lash line, and then I'll smudge it out. But for this, I find this does both.
I suppose detailing brushes are so important for us because we have such tiny eyes that if we want to enhance our eyes, we're generally playing with our lash lines.
When you have very sparse lashes on your lower lash line, I find that I often need to go in with some eyeshadow just to define it. Otherwise it will look like it looks very strange. But I did have one more that I wanted to mention, which is my honorable mention. And this is this Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. This is the number 3 brush. And this is my absolute favorite brush for using gel liner with. Because I find that because it's tapered, I think it's called a 3-point tapered brush. I don't know. But because of that, I find that it gives a really nice precise line, which is always what you want when you're creating a winged line. Out of all my brushes that I use for winged liner, this is the best.
It's an interesting shape.
I can go back and forth without
messing up the tip of the brush.
Yeah, it's the right amount of density and precision.
I suppose because Anastasia are mainly a brow company and they're really into defined brows, that they would also make brushes good for defining and making really sharp brows.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But you can also use them on your lash line and for eyeliner, so it's good.
I think a lot of people are going to ask why we don't use like purely synthetic brushes. And Belle was just saying that, you know, it's all good and fine if you've got a lot of eyelid space and you haven't got sensitive eyes, but if you do have sensitive eyes, natural hair brushes just don't irritate them as much.
Well, not any old natural hair brush.
Like, that's true. I mean, a good quality natural hair brush. Maybe not like a horse or, you know, like the horse's tail.
Well, the good thing about Japanese brushes is that they're assembled by hand. So they don't shear the tops of all the hair. They actually use the ends of every Yeah.
So those were all our top picks for detailed eye brushes. I hope you found this interesting, and let us know what brushes are your favorite for detailed eye work, because we always like to know what other people like to use.
Let us know if you want to know any more of our favorite brushes for different applications.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye! Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye! Why do I keep saying that weird?
Bye.
Bye! Bye!
Bye.